Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into this video, I would like to say, if you're new around here, I have two rules over at this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule, that's for you to verify everything you learn, whether it's on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. That should be a rule of life. So getting into the video, this is going to be a news article that I'm sharing, and it's a news article that came out this past week, and it's from Bankrate, and it's in relation to something that you all should be concerned with, especially if you are a specific credit card holder. Now, before I get into the article, I want to say something. You know, someone asked me a while ago, they said, hey, why do you share news articles on this channel? And it's pretty simple why I share news articles on this channel. Number one, it informs my subscribers of what's going on currently in regard to credit cards and credit scores. They need to be in the know. And number two, it also provides them with information that they're able to research, factual information. Now, I provide verifiable information on this channel, but I also want to provide verifiable information that's coming out in the news just to keep my subscribers up on their toes, just in case they're not blindsided by anything. And I remember I did a previous video. It was one before my last video. It was a news article video, and they came by and they left a comment, and it was in regard to whether or not we should teach the youth about credit cards and credit scores early. And they came by and they said, hey, I'm a teacher and I don't think it's a good idea for teaching the youth about credit cards and credit scores because they're not going to be interested in personal finance. The kids that I teach, I'm paraphrasing by the way, but the kids that I teach, they don't seem to be too interested in those things. And I replied back, interesting, because I'm not going to argue with anyone's take because that's their experience. But from my viewpoint, I think it's very important for us to teach the youth about credit cards and credit scores and personal finance in general. They learn about everything else. If they can learn about history and they can learn about math and they can learn about grammar and English and things like that, then yes, you could fit in them learning about credit cards and credit scores, because those are things that are going to affect and impact their adulthood. At some point, they're more than likely going to be required to have a decent credit score. So why not teach them, and why not start them out early? But we're going to get into the article right now. So the article is by Bankrate, as I stated, and it reads, a survey, retail credit card interest rates are through the roof in 2024. I don't think anyone is surprised by that. I know I'm not surprised by that. If you're a subscriber on this channel, I'm sure you're not surprised by that because we've been talking about it consistently for like the last 2 years or so. So let's further get into it. It says, if you ever stood in the checkout line at a brick and mortar retailer and been offered a discount on your purchase by applying for a credit card, the cashier was trying to sell you on a retail card. One version of retail credit cards are store credit cards, which are only usable at the store or brand affiliated with the card. These are different from co-branded cards, which are affiliated with a brand as well as card networks such as Visa or MasterCard, and can be used for purchases anywhere. Both types of retail cards let you earn rewards and discounts with certain brands, but at what price? A new Bankrate study shows that retail cards come with sky-high interest rates compared to other credit cards. The average retail credit card interest rate is now at a record high of 30.45%. It's also far higher than the current average credit card interest rate of about 21%. Now, I want to talk about that for a little bit. The interest rate for retail cards are at 30.45% right now, compared to 21% for cards that are not retail cards. And that's a ridiculous interest rate. And that should be alarming to all of you, because I know some of you out there who are watching, you love retail cards. I remember I started out in 2006, I had a Best Buy credit card, and that was a retail card. It ended up closing down, but it was a retail credit card. And I remember not knowing much about credit cards back then. I remember I went into Banana Republic and I applied for a credit card. Now, I was rejected for that card, but let's say I got approved. I would have had a Banana Republic credit card. And with interest rates being 30.45%, just think about if you're someone that has a retail credit card and you're carrying over balances. I know some of you out there who are watching, you more than likely have a retail credit card and you are carrying over balances, because it's easy to carry over balances when you have a retail card. Let's say it's holiday season, or you're shopping for a trip, or you're shopping for someone's birthday and you have a retail credit card. You may not necessarily have an income or the money sitting around to just go and buy it with a debit card or purchase it with cash, so you put it on your credit card. And a lot of people with these retail cards, they're not paying off their balance in full. So just think about that. They're getting hit over the head with interest at a 30.45% rate. And that's ridiculous. You're just basically giving money away. And me personally, I like to stay away from retail credit cards. I don't currently own one. As I stated earlier, the Best Buy credit card that I did have, it got closed down years ago. So I don't have a retail credit card, and I'm also not planning on signing up for a retail credit card because of the things that come along with one. You figure you're more inspired to spend at whatever store it is that you have your card with. And you're also probably going to end up spending more just because you know it is a credit card. If you were to go in there with a cash or a debit card, you more than likely will probably spend less because you know you have a limit. If you go in there with $100, you're like, hey, I can't spend more than $100 because I only have $100 on this debit card, or I only have $100 cash in my pocket. However, if you go in there with that credit card and your goal is to spend $100, but that credit card has a credit limit of $1,000, you may talk yourself into going and spending more than that $100, especially if you're at a store that you tend to like, or it's a store that have more than one thing, such as a Target or stores like that, where you could go from one section to another and see things that you like. So you want to be careful. But let's get further into the article. They have a section that says key insights on retail credit card interest rates in 2024. The average interest rates for retail cards is at an all-time high. At 30.45%, that means carrying the balance is more expensive than ever. Certain retailers lead the way in high rates, while others offer rates comparable to or lower than regular card rates. Rates can run as high as 35.99% and as low as 10%. Retail cards can be easier to qualify for, so retailers protect against anticipated cardholder defaults by charging high rates. It's also a major profit opportunity for retailers. So that section right there is interesting because they highlight a couple of things. They highlight that some retailers have card interest rates as high as 35.99%, and some surprisingly has some that are as low as 10%. And they say those cards have a lower interest rate than regular credit cards. But they also mention how retail credit cards are easier to be qualified for, so that's why they use higher rates as a way of protection. And me speaking to you, that's a reason to be extremely cautious, because that's alarming. These high interest rates that they charge you for these retail credit cards can land you in some big trouble. And there's not a study on it currently, but I can almost guarantee that a good amount of the people who are in credit card debt carry some form of retail credit card debt. I'm almost sure of that. Like I stated, right now I don't have the percentages in front of my face, but I can almost bet that a good amount of this credit card debt, the $1.14 trillion in credit card balances, a good amount of that is allocated to retail credit card debt. Like I stated, I'm going to look for the percentages for that, but I can almost bet that it has something to do with that. But let's further get into the article. It says retail cards are on a spree of rising interest rates. While it's typical for credit card interest rates to rise and fall based on the Federal Reserve's prime rate and cardholders' credit scores, retail credit card rates are unusually high this year. The average retail credit card currently charges a record high 30.4% APR. That's up from 28.93% in 2003, 26.72% in 2022, and 24.35% in 2021. For comparison, the average credit card interest rate has lingered in the 20% to just under 21% range since March 2023. Among store-only credit cards, also known as closed-loop cards, the average is 31.80%. Among co-branded cards, also known as open-loop cards, the average is 29.9%. It says credit card issuers have built models and audiences that only work if they get a ton of revolve on the card and they charge really high interest rates, explains Michael Spellfogel, founder and president of Cardless. In other words, when retail card holders carry a balance, the issuer wins. Spellfogel, who has over 300 credit cards in his wallet, encourages people these days to choose a card that meets their needs. He notes that store cards may not always be a good fit because of their high interest rates and brand limitations. You know, it's kind of interesting because that guy has over 300 credit cards. As he stated, pick cards that fit your need. And yes, I think that interest rates should be considered when it comes to getting a credit card. That's important. Now, me personally, I stay away from store credit cards. Now, do I encourage people to stay away from them? No, people can do whatever they want. I tell people to get whatever card fits them and their lifestyle and their future outlook. However, I stay away from them. And those interest rates are something to consider when it comes to determining whether or not you should apply for one, especially if you are someone who carry over balances. Now, I always tell people to pay off whatever they spend on a month-to-month basis, to pay it off in full. Now, some people don't do that. In fact, a lot of people don't. Look how high the credit card balances is in this country. However, if you are someone who has an interest in a credit card for retail stores, consider what the interest rates are for them, and also make sure that you are someone who decides to pay off whatever you spend. Pay it off in full. Be sure to budget. Be sure to pay attention and keep note of what you're spending at these stores, because you don't want to get to a point where you can't pay off what you spend in full and then you carrying over balances and then you're getting hit over the head with those high interest rates that's in the 30% range. You don't want to do that. But I just wanted to share this article with you all. Hey, I recently did a live stream. It was with Joe Barretto over at his channel, and I want you all to check it out. I initially had the video available on this channel, but I took it down because it was cut off. Like half of the video was cut off and you couldn't see the beginning of the video because I clicked on the live stream link too late. So what I want you all to do is I want you all to check out the video in full. And the way you do that is going by Joe Barretto's channel and checking it out. In fact, I'm going to pin the video in the comment section of this video. So be sure to go over there and check the video out. It's very informative. Shout out to Joe, shout out to Ron, shout out to Sledge, shout out to Key, and shout out to Chad. We really had a great discussion the other night on that live stream. It's very informative. Be sure to check out that live stream. Also, this Sunday, the 15th, I'm doing an interview with Cesar Joel. You want to make sure you show up for this live stream. It's going to be a good one. If you know anything about Cesar Joel, you'll know he has a great channel. A lot of his information regarding credit cards and credit scores are in Spanish. So if you want to check out his channel, make sure you do. But please show up Sunday, September 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be live. You don't want to miss that interview. But I appreciate every single one of you for taking time to watch this video. Show support. Hit the like button. A lot of you have been shorting me on the likes. I don't know why, but you have. Be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your opinion on retail credit cards, whether or not you have one, whether or not you're for them or against them. But anyways, if you're new to this channel and you're feeling the vibe, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Turn on all notifications. That way you don't miss a future video because I post often. That's clicking on the bell and selecting all. Also, this goes to every single one of you. As I stated previously, be sure to hit the like button. That's your way of supporting this video. It also lets the algorithm know you support this channel. I appreciate every single one of you for watching. This is Water Your Soil. I see you all Sunday. And wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right? In the description box below, I always tell people, check out the description box below for extra resources from Water Your Soil. Part of the description box also showcases my book that I have. I have a book. It's been out for a while now. It's been out for years. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. The book is available. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble. Most online bookstores have the book. And the book is basically about how FICO credit scoring works. Once you understand how FICO credit scoring works, you're pretty much on your way to helping yourself build, develop, and maintain a good credit score. So check the book out whenever you get a chance.